Hey everyone, welcome to round number 6 of the APRL Pro-Am Series. This week we're on Lake Maggiore. It's the east course reverse, so the shortened layout, as you can see on the top right of the screen. A bit of a tricky track. There's a middle sector with a sort of where the S's are, as you can see on the track map, and it's quite tricky to get that right. The track limits are quite generous there, but I guess the downside of that is you you end up cutting them, and it's very easy to get a penalty by cutting them too much. So tricky track to get right, especially that there's sort of a corner that tightens on the apex on the bottom right of the track map, which is quite hard to get right. And yeah, had to do a lot of practice on this one. 36 laps. You have to use the hards and the softs. So um, yeah, a bit of a strategy to sort of figure out how long the softs last for. The GTR does struggle a bit with tyre life, especially on the fronts. It chews up fronts quite a lot, being a FR car compared to some of these other cars as well. So yeah, it's a bit tricky to get a good amount of laps out of the soft tyres and sort of keep the pace up. The time difference between hards and softs was quite a big difference. So yeah, you really had to make the most of the softs. Starting down in 7th, I thought I had had an okay qualifying. I thought I didn't do as well as I could have. I do have quite good pace on this track after practice, but there's a bit as I mentioned before in the middle of the track, the S's. If you don't get a good entry into that one, it can really compromise your speed, and you don't get as good a lap. And there's also a turn at the end of the back straight, which I just didn't take very well. So didn't have a great qualifying, but still 7th place, not too bad. I'll go through the grid order. So first is Badge, as usual up the front, in the orange Porsche this time. Second is Dank, had a good qualifying as well, so NRG at the front as well as 3rd place. So NRG lockout in the front 3, so these guys had a pretty good qualifying. 4th is Bob, another good driver, sort of up at the front of the pack for most of the season. Tanks in 5th, another good driver. Specs in 6th. Myself and Specs have a really good battle for this race, so yeah, you'll get to see me just trying to pass them and not working out. So yeah, me in 7th, Speedy's in 8th. We seem to be magnetised when it comes to qualifying this season, so in behind me this one. 9th is Angus. 10th is V-Man. This is actually the week that Kyle Busch passed away, so he's running a tribute livery to that. I'll see if I can just do a quick look of it. Yeah, one of the tributes to one of his liveries that he used to run in NASCAR. So pretty cool livery to run, and quite a special, I guess, tribute to him. Unfortunately, on the week there he did pass. So yeah, 10th. 11th is Josh. 12th is Atlantis, and last is Petty. I think Petty had a rough day. This one, he had a few things going on and had to keep ducking out of the rig. So down 13th, but I think he does park it in the pits eventually. So yeah, unfortunate for him. But yeah, so starting in 7th, I guess we'll just see how. Starting on the hards, I didn't think I'd want to start on the softs. Yeah, most of the front of the grid are on softs. You really want to, if you're up the front, you just want to make the most of the clean air you get, but the further back you get, the more you're going to be stuck in traffic, so running softs isn't ideal. So yeah, up until 5th, everyone's running softs, and then probably from then on it's all hards. Yep, everyone else is on hards, so yeah, I guess we'll just see how I can do in this race. Haven't changed my livery much this week. Just added a little bit of a yellow trim. Thought it might look quite good. So yeah, starting in 7th. This one is a bit tricky. This track, there's a lot of really sharp, tight turns that are quite hard to get right. This is one of them. It's really easy to miss the apex, which I just do. I guess it's a first turn. You don't really know where you're braking, since you're not going the speed that you want to be going, so it's easy to miss. But don't get a good run through there. So as you can see, I've already dropped quite a bit to Specs. He goes a bit wide there. Wonder if he's going to pick up a penalty. So this is the part of the track that's quite tricky. You can actually cut the corner quite a lot. As you can see, I didn't really do it there, but the white line is just a suggestion. So you can actually pretty much cut the entire corner. The only thing you need on the track to not cut your wheels on the curb. So you can pretty much just cut the whole corner itself, but yeah, you do get a bit of a slide if you do that. I just pulled out to the side. I noticed in that straight the glare off the top of the cars was really, really hard to ignore. It was quite bright. I don't know why it's like that. The exposure settings are really weird in this game, so yeah, got a bit blinded going down there, so I didn't want to miss my braking point and run into the back of Specs, so I just pulled off to the side just to avoid that. But finishing lap 1, nothing really eventful has happened. I've put a bit of a gap to Speedy, and he's battling Angus as well, so yeah, comfortable here. And yes, Specs has been dropped by Tank up in front, so we've already got our little groups going and forming. There's a couple of pairs on the track map, as you can see. So yeah, you can see there I didn't cut it very well. I'll show you later on in the race when I get a good one, but you can cut that corner quite a lot, and that's really the key to a good lap on this track. This is another one where you really want to get a late apex, but you want to straighten up the car as early as you can so you can get good speed onto the straight. We did find in practice actually you can run wide on that red runoff, and you don't get a penalty. So you can run really wide and you can just floor it, and you end up gaining a good couple tenths just doing that. So it does give you dirty tyres, so you do lose something. But yeah, it was a bit of a I guess cheat strategy to be able to do that. So they ended up sort of explicitly telling us not to do it. So yeah, so coming to lap 3, just stuck in here behind Specs. We're just sort of matching pace at the moment, pulling away from the group behind me. Get a little bit squirrely on the exit there, but luckily I can gather it up. The GTR does tend to step out a little bit in the back end. A lot of the weight's at the front, so it's quite easy to lose the rears sometimes when coming out of corner exit. But you can see there, that's the line I'm talking about. You can really cut this corner, but you do, as you just saw there as well, if you risk, if you touch the grass, you'll just end up sliding. So got to be a bit careful, can't just floor it. Get a good run here out on Specs, and this is really what was happening this race. I got some good corner exits, he got some good corner exits, and we ended up matching pace pretty well. And I guess where it mattered, the certain turns that I could have passed on, I just didn't have the pace to be able to get in and make a pass. Could have made a pass here, but it's lap 3 of 36. You really don't want to be making too many moves early on that might compromise your race and take someone out, so didn't opt to go through it there. But it is a passing opportunity, same as turn 1. It's another good passing opportunity. The track really does struggle for passing opportunities, to be honest. There's a lot of corners that are just heavy braking points with sharp turns. It's a lot of these slow flowing corners that you can't really pass on. I found it quite difficult to actually make any opportunities. So yeah, you've really got to either stick to the back of someone, hope they make a mistake, or just try and engineer a pass at some point. But yeah, it was quite difficult, so just had to stick him behind Specs and try and find where he was slow and find out where he might make some mistakes. So yeah, that's pretty much what happens for the next couple laps at least. Jumping forward to lap number 5, got a really good run on Specs here, but just had to back out a little bit because didn't quite know where he was braking in that corner. I sort of was trying to pay attention, but it's a corner if you go too quick into it, you end up having to brake quite heavily, and I just didn't want to risk running into the back of him. I did forget to mention mandatory 2 stops this race, so you have to pit twice. Jumping forward here to lap number 6, still glued to the back of Specs. Credit to him, Similar to Autopolis, he really holds his own, doesn't really crack into the pressure, but as you can see there, just got a not a great run out of that corner. So I've got a decent running coming up into this corner, so I think I can go for the inside line. End up braking a little bit late and blowing the corner, overshooting. So he goes back up the inside. So that's really the risk you run if you go up the inside. You really have to nail your brake point, or you just end up flying past. So unfortunately, didn't make the move, and fortunately didn't take him out in the process. So yeah, I guess we just have to see what happens next time. But yeah, so tucking in behind him, just trying to catch the back of him now. So you'll see I do gain on him every lap. So I knew I was quick. I knew I was quicker than him. But similar to Autopolis, I just couldn't pass him. I don't know what it is about Specs. I just seem to always be stuck in behind him and can never make it past him. So he's quite good at driving quite defensively. Well, not defensively, he's just quite good at defending the corners he needs to defend, and driving really consistently. So he's a difficult driver to pass. So yeah, I know I've just got to try and make a move when I can and look for those areas where he's weak. I knew that coming onto the straight he didn't have the best lines coming out of that last corner, so that was another great opportunity, was this corner, if I could get a good run. I also noticed this corner here, most people actually didn't, and I didn't show it good that time, but you actually want to hug that left-hander, and it gives you a really good run into the right-hander, which it just lets you carry way more speed and gives you a good run into the hairpin. So you'll see it at some point. I start doing that more often, and I actually get some quite good runs on people. Just haven't quite clued in on that yet. I'm just still trying to figure out where I can make the moves and where I can make up time. Jumping forward a little bit as well. As I said before, as you can see here, got some good runs out of that corner, and I'm right back up behind him. So this time I was hoping I could make a move into this corner. Probably actually, I'm not as close as I'd like to be, but yeah, I back out, so didn't go for it there. I thought I wasn't quite close enough to go for a dive. It's quite tricky because you're not braking in a straight line in that corner. You're actually braking and you're beginning to turn as well, because you want to get you sort of want to carry your speed through that corner. So not an easy corner to pass on. You'll end up just dive bombing and taking someone out if you just go up the inside without sort of being close enough for an overtake. So you want overlap before you even get to the brake point in that corner to make a good move, and yeah, you can't just try and make a pass if you don't have that overlap. So yeah, just got to get a better run out of that last corner before the straight. Jumping forward to lap number 11, same deal, stuck in behind him and had a good run, so go for the move up the inside. Unfortunately, there's a bit of contact. He's turned and I've not turned, so yeah, it's what I mean when I say you can't. It's hard to get a pass on that corner, so just let him go back through. Thought I don't want to get an advantage for making a move there, and just want to make sure I don't ruin his race. So you give him the move back. I thought I had a good run, but just wasn't far up enough to make the move, and yeah, a bit of contact. So tucking in behind him and just trying to just trying to be consistent and get a little bit better of a run into the corners. I don't know what it was, just I couldn't make the move. Maybe I was just being a bit too cautious this race. Maybe I just didn't have the pace in the corners that I needed to have, but yeah, we just didn't have enough of a run on some of these corners to make the overtake. So yeah, but I guess not too bothered. Our pace is okay. I guess the benefit of me not going too quick and being ahead is as I save my tyres a little bit. So yeah, not the end of the world. I'm also able to fuel save a little bit as well, just being in the slipstream. Jumping forward a little bit to lap number 15, I've actually been caught by Josh. He's on the soft, so he's already swapped. But this is a really good example of the line I mean. So you can see he goes quite wide there, and a lot of people did, but I sort of kept a narrow line, and I was able to carry that corner almost flat On the hards it's a bit more difficult too, but you just get a lot better of a run through here, and it actually opens up an opportunity to pass on the hairpin. So didn't quite have a good example as I finally passed Specs, but it was because he pitted, so I don't think that counts, but I guess I'll take it. As I said, Josh is behind me. He's on the softs, quite worn actually, but still much better grip than the hards. Almost runs into the back of me there, but luckily he manages to pull it up. So yeah, he's gone for the 2-stop on the softs. I'm going for the long hard stint and then swapping onto the softs. Yeah, there were two strategies that opened up. You either went really short on the hards and you did 2 soft stints, so you'd have to pit twice, or you could just do a very long hard stint and then another soft stint. And I guess it really came down to pit transit. Unfortunately, the pit transit time, which is the time it takes for you to get to the start and the end of the pit lane, was quite long for this track. Really, really weird, honestly, because the pit lane's not very long, but it was quite a long pit. It was something like 40 or 50 seconds for a pit, and I guess we'll see later on how long it takes. But yeah, very long pit for some reason. So that, to me, that made it not as ideal to go for the 2-stopper. You really would have to be pushing it on the softs to make up the time that you lost in the pits, and I just didn't feel like it was worth going for that. I guess the risk of going on the softs. But as you can see here, Josh has caught me on the softs. He's passed me, and then he'll have to stop as well, and so will I. So it's actually worked out for him. He came from back in the grid. I think it was 11th or 12th. So yeah, obviously it's worked out for him. If you're a fast, consistent driver, then yeah, it works out quite well. But I guess I just felt like it was a bit of a risk, and I didn't want to try it out. So I've just gone for the 1-stopper on hards, and then I'll eventually put on the softs. But yeah, I guess the 2-stopper might have been a good option as well. Probably would have actually helped getting out of that battle with Specs earlier as well, but I guess that's just the strategy I chose and went with, so had to deal with it. So yeah, just all I'm doing now, because I know that Specs has gone in and put on softs, I'm just trying to be quick and not drive in and make any mistakes, and hopefully that ends up working out for me. And yeah, hopefully he comes out of the pits either just in front of me or behind me when I come out. So I guess we'll just see where I come out. Jumping forward to lap number 20 now. Most people have come in. As you can see, Bob's behind me. I'm pretty sure he's on the softs. Yeah, he's on the softs. Was in the front of the grid. So I've gone a bit long on the hards. As I mentioned at the start of the race, the GTR does not have great tyre life, especially on the fronts. So I felt like I just needed to do a little bit longer on these hards to make the softs last and not have a really bad sort of end of the race. It's where most people will make moves, and yeah, not having good tyres at the end just sort of limits your opportunities to make a pass or to defend right at the end of the race. So just going a bit longer here on the hards. I didn't feel like my pace was too bad. As you can see on the right, I've done some pretty consistent 21s. Bob's doing 19s, so yeah, just about a second and a half, 2 seconds down on his times. So obviously slower, but not too bad. It's only 2 seconds, which is decent. So yeah, he almost goes for the move there, but has a pretty bad run through that corner. So try not to block him, but yeah, I'm just doing my race. He's on the softer tyre, so he's able to pass when he can. I'm just trying to, be predictable, hold my line, make sure that I don't do anything ridiculous, don't defend corners where I don't need to. So I'm not really defending corners. I'm opening up the inside line, and as you can see here, he just takes it. So yeah, let him through. I'm not racing with him. He's on a different strategy to me and further up in the field. So our race isn't. I guess both of our races aren't together. So I don't want to compromise him too much, and I also don't want to slow myself down, because I know that when I pit, I'm going to be around about where Specs and Josh are. So I guess I'm just trying to be consistent, as I said, trying to get some good laps in, and hopefully it works out once I go into the pits, which I do at the end of this lap, coming into the pits now. So as I said, I'm on the hards, going onto the softs now for the rest of the race. Hards weren't in too bad of a spot, but yeah, just want to make the most of the softs. So I felt like 15 or 16 laps on the softs was as much as I could do. As I come out of the pits there, yeah, so as you can see, Specs and Josh are up the road. So I've lost a bit of time to them, which makes sense. I guess Specs is on the softer tyre for a bit of time before me, so he's able to pull a bit of a gap. But I'm just hoping that the tyres will come back to me at the end of the race and I have better tyres than him for the last few laps. Hopefully that works out for me. So now I'm on the softer tyre, I'm just sending it, I'm just trying to be as quick as I can, not burn the tyres, but not hold back. So so the pit transit was about 35-40 seconds with the stop, so with the fuel and the tyres, so yeah, quite a long pit. So that's kind of why I made the decision to not do the two-stopper. I felt like the time lost there didn't sort of work out with the time you would gain on the tyres over the stint, and you'd actually end up, the softs wouldn't work as, I guess they wouldn't work out being 2 seconds a lap faster every single lap. You might have traffic, or I guess as they get more worn, but you're not as quick as you know, that time every single lap. So yeah, that's kind of why I made that decision to go the one stopper. So I've just got to make it up the field now. I've just got to try and be quick and catch the back of these guys, which I do. Coming here onto lap number 27, Josh has just gone up in front of Specs. So I've caught the back of them, done some pretty decent laps, mid 119s, set my fastest lap a couple laps ago. Specs is on 120s, and same as Josh, so I'm a second a lap quicker than these guys. As I come in here to a yellow flag, somebody's sideways. It's Dank, so I wonder what happened to him here. Gets a decent run. He just touches that grass. That happened to me a lot in practice. Very easy thing to do. Just get a little bit too wide, and unfortunately goes around. It's pretty easy to do, and unfortunately he's gone around and lost a position. So not a great thing to have happen. But yeah, so just coming up here, just trying to now battle again with Specs. Seems to be the battle of the season, to be honest. And I guess you'll probably see now the lines that I'm talking about that you can be taking through these corners, because now I'm on the softer tyre, I can actually take the lines that I'm trying to take. I just showed it there on that corner. I took quite a lot of that curb. So yeah, the track limits on this track are pretty generous. As I said, the white line is a suggestion. It's not actually the proper track limit. The curbs tend to be. So yeah, you can take quite a lot of curb, and you'll probably see coming up to some of these corners, I'm going to end up cutting these curbs quite a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of time to be gained, a lot of speed to carry through here. It's actually quite difficult following as well. If you don't know about what's called aero wash, if you're following in behind someone, because of the turbulent air coming off the car in front of you, you actually end up losing downforce, and you can't take corners as quick as you normally would. Your car doesn't stick as well as it should on the front to the track, so you end up sometimes it can catch you out, and you can end up either going wide because you've taken too much speed into a corner, not sort of anticipating it, or it can just unsettle your car. So a couple of times I sort of notice it when going through the corners, especially on the S's. Being so close and behind someone just really compromises your run into the corners. So something just to manage, and hopefully just try and minimize the effect as much as possible. Coming here into turn 1, just noticed he got a pretty poor line through there and didn't get a good run coming out of that turn, so I'm quite close here, and the thought crosses my mind that maybe I can make a move up into this corner, but as I said earlier in the race, this is not really where you want to make a pass. So yeah, if best case you might both get through the corner very slow. Worst case you end up taking both of you out. So just sort of lift it off and try to get a really good run, which I do as well. But here's another corner where you don't really want to try and make a move. It's just a difficult and awkward corner, so I just sort of back off and let him take the corner. But he got a pretty compromised exit, taking a narrow line, and got another really good run coming up into this corner. But it's like what happened earlier in the race, just completely blew my brake marker. I actually ended up going off the tracks, and I've lost a couple seconds doing that, and I've got dirty tyres now. So yeah, just the risk of trying to take the inside line to that corner. I also just completely missed my braking point doing it, which is an easy thing to do if you're battling. Sometimes you just don't think about your brake markers, and yeah, unfortunately it just means I'm quite far back now. I've lost 3 seconds doing that, so yeah, just have to make this gap back up again, unfortunately. Coming forward a little bit to lap 30. Denk here is on the hard tyres, I believe, so yeah, he's quite a bit slower than the rest of us because we're on the softs. He did the soft and hard stint, and unfortunately because of the spin he's now back here with us. So yeah, he's just a bit of traffic. I guess I just have to manage, given he's on the harder tyre compound, so it's going to be a couple seconds slower a lap. So fortunately here I've got quite a good run coming down here, and I just go for the inside line, and he doesn't make it too difficult. Brakes a little bit just to try not to get in the way. As I said, this corner, it's really difficult to go too wide, so I think he just wanted to minimise time losses. I almost cut the tracks there. I don't know if it was obvious, but I actually turned left to try and keep myself off the just here, twitched left a little bit just to try to keep myself on the track, and I think that actually ended up making me not get a penalty. That corner there is really brutal when it comes to penalties. I think I've had like 2-second penalties on that corner, and yeah, it's a really easy thing a really easy corner to cut, and so I just end up losing me a little bit of time, but avoid the penalty, which is something I have done this race. I haven't actually got a penalty so far, and yeah, I was just waiting for it to happen because I knew it would. It's easy track to get penalties on, especially that middle sector, so have done well so far to keep the penalties at bay, but I knew it was coming at some point. Jumping forward to the penultimate lap number 35, right up the back of Specs now. Get a good run coming out of turn 1, and I think maybe I could just hold it in for this corner, but he yeah, comes in, and yeah, obviously I don't have a good enough run to keep it alongside, so decide to just lift off, let him go through. I know I can make up the time somewhere else, and he gets a pretty bad run out of that corner, touches the wall, so yeah, just slide on through, and yeah, fortunately just gifted the position. He got a pretty poor run, and yeah, it lets me up in front of him, so only took me 35 laps of the race to get by him, but fortunately have gotten past him, so all I need to do now was drive quick and try not to make any mistakes. Yeah, unfortunately just get not a great run out of that last corner there, and he just comes up the side of me, gets a much better run. So yeah, drag race here to turn number 1, hopefully just trying to stick on the inside, and he gets quite a good run. He actually brakes at the right point. I brake a little bit early, just not anticipating where to brake, and unfortunately have let him through on the last lap. So yeah, it's I guess the gloves are off now. It's a battle for the position number 6. So yeah, just trying to now stick to the back of him, not let him drive away, and keep the pressure on. I know that I'm quick, and I know there's certain corners that I can pass him on. I know there's certain lines he takes, so now I'm just trying to weave my way into the lines that or the gaps, I guess, that he leaves open. Get a good run coming out of that corner. I'm quite close, but see, at this point now he defends the inside. He knows that if he lets that inside open, I'm going to take it, but gives him a poor run coming out of that corner. I sort of switch back on him, and then, as I said earlier, this is where you can get that line through there. You can keep the speed up, so get the switch back on him there, and I'm keeping on the outside for the hairpin. He's got the inside. switch back on him again, and then switch back on the last corner. He gets a pretty poor run, puts two wheels in the grass, and I've made the move up the inside, and right at the finish line, I make the position up into P6, so really awesome battle with Specs. He drove bloody well. Just unfortunate that he kept it clean all race and just had a couple mistakes toward the end on worn tyres, and I capitalise and make the position. So P6, not a bad result. I guess a couple of positions up. Definitely need to be qualifying a bit further up the order to make some better finishes. But yeah, it was a bloody good race, and I really enjoyed it. Even though it was P6, it was one of the best races I've ever had, and yeah, really enjoyed racing with Specs. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed the commentary and the battle at the end. This, I guess, toward the end of the season here now, we're getting towards the pointy end where points start to matter. I guess, yeah, at this point now it's starting to matter. Every race finish matters, and finishes towards the front are really what does it for you in the championship. So yeah, now I'm sort of looking toward trying to finish as well as I can. I'm still quite far away from the top, but yeah, I just want to try and get as many points as I can and finish well. So next week, round number 7, we're at Sardinia. It's the reverse layout of Sardinia, so an interesting track choice, but another fun track. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. As always, leave the suggestions in the comments. Leave your badge livery colour pick as well, and I'll pick a winner next week. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye.